first came to, and see below me, it doesn't have any boards. It's it's over the river, and I need to use this because it's raining and it's icy here, so it's very it's awesome. It's bad, and I'm just holding on to this wobbly railing just to keep my balance in case I fell through and got my boots wet. On the other side, there it is. My thoughts on people and their needs to be close together. Oh. Yeah, that's what happens. Sometimes your foot goes into a muddy hole and you get mudded. So it's like walking on, you think you're stepping on solid ground and then your foot goes knee deep into icy mud. Oh, yeah, see, I can see it. Oh. I had a friend who went to I had some close friends from my past who went to the West Coast. Oh, and they were at the glaciers, and there was lots of crevasses and crevasses, as you know, sometimes become snow covered. Oh, fuck. Every time my foot falls through, I lose my balance and my train of thought. So I'm crossing back into the park that I'm allowed to walk in. So they were at these crevasses, and one of my friends, his name was Tony, and oh fuck, going deep into this shit. His friend, he saw a little boy, an Asian boy, and his father. Now I'm doing the Fred Penner duck through. Little boy and his father, and the little boy was kneeling towards the crevasse, looking in, and Tony thought, maybe he should tell this boy and his father to not let this child lean over into this crevasse of ice, which is, as we all may or may not know, if you fall into a crevasse, odds are you're dead because it's so cold in there, and you need to get the safety equipment up to the crevasse. Anyways, I think you know where this is going. The boy obviously fell in, and Tony, all he heard was the father screaming, and he looked back, and there was no boy there. The boy had fallen into the crevasse, so Tony had to run down the mountain to get the first aid people, and that took a long time. Then the first aid people had to get themselves ready. They had to get all the gear. I think they had to get a helicopter or ambulance, and then they had to run back up and then try and get the boy out with a winch, or I'm unsure how they did it. But by the time they got the boy out, he had froze to death. If the fall didn't kill him, the freezing to death would have. I don't know why that came up. I think I was just walking over all those icy patches and I was thinking of that story, but I was on a train of thought recently, and the train of thought was that, we are a sacred divine vibration, and the source of our creation is what is true divinity, and everything else is a product of it. So you throw a rock into the water, and the rock that initially makes contact with the water is your source. That is the source of the vibration. Now, you cast the stone, so you could say whoever cast the stone was the vibration. But then you could also say, well, what created the hand or the body, the human that cast the stone, and so on and so forth. So who's to say we're not all just a ripple of some great stone that was cast into a very placid lake for us all to explore the ripples the ripple effect that comes from anything, any energy. That's just something new that came up. But as far as you, me, and anybody, our true essence as soul is a vibration. It is a very powerful sound and light. And you go into a quiet room, you can hear this sound at night or at day, anytime. It's forever. It's your infinite source of energy. You could call it your soul. You could call it your Atma Sarup, your soul body. So this soul body is essentially you forever. It's your identity. It's your true ego. Your false ego happens to be the ripples that are caused by your true ego. So your soul creates a vibration of light and sound, and that light and sound creates ripples that come down into different planes of vibration, this being a very dense plane of vibration. Essentially what that means is that as the stone is cast, the original point of contact with the water is the most powerful point, and as the ripples go out, they lose their power. Well, that's what this is. We're focusing, most people, that's a generalization, all people at some point are focusing on the ripples as opposed to the source. So our everyday life, the job you have, the relationships, all of that, although it has divine source, we generally don't look at the divine source. We're oftentimes distracted by the external ripples of the true source. Just something to take into consideration when you are, wow, you gotta check this out. I'm in paradise. Doesn't do it justice. This is what I've been doing all day. I haven't eaten. I don't know what time it is. Like I said, I haven't been eating much, and my detox has been much better. I find I'm eliminating more mucus by eating less. Because Dr. Morris, he teaches better out than in. So if you got some horror, you gotta get it out. Get it out before it gets you. And so, sorry. I don't know if people actually appreciate that silly antics, but if you're going back to the seriousness of this discussion, proclivity of being focused on the external as opposed to the internal source of your vibration is a natural propensity for any individual on this plane, because that is the divine design of all of the planes. It's designed for you to have all this flash and all this pizzazz around you, but still appreciate the things that your eyes cannot see, which are more subtle. But let's just say that the source is a forever, and the ripples you're focusing on are finite. And so you can see that so long as you keep focusing on the finite and believing you're the finite, well, you'll forever be finite, we'll say. But as soon as you recognize that you're infinite and hone in on that true essence of who you are, that true vibration of what you will forever be, at that point, you, me, anybody, has chosen to be infinitely infinite, which is infinitely infinite. And you catch my drift, is as soon as you make that connection, you have then made the full circle, and then you are forever eternal. But so long as you focus on the ripples, there's a huge disconnect from your source. If you're focusing on the drama, you'll continue to be the drama. You'll continue to have the drama. Now, drama, you learn from it. You do. You learn from the things that the interactions you have and the differences that people are. That's what it's here for. It's here to teach us. If we didn't have it, well, sometimes it doesn't exist. Sometimes there is no field of duality. Sometimes it's all destroyed to reset, to rebuild uh, itself. It's all designed to filter out those who are ready to focus on their true self, the infinite, and you can't do that so long as you're a finite infinite, infinitely finite. And those who choose to focus on the ripples are infinitely finite. I think it makes perfect sense. And if you do too, you can talk with me about it and we can discuss things and have a grand old time and lots of jokes. And I love everything. Just look around. This is quiet. So fantastic. So what do you think of this video? What do you think of the topic? If you watched it to its entirety and you were fascinated by what I had to say, then please, 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 let's have some discussion and learn about our true source of vibration. And from there, we can, well, what else is there to do? Eat good fruit, enjoy good company of souls. Oh, so the people in your life, although they may be the ripple effect, and you may be really loving the drama, may really be enjoying all that unfolds before you in these finite planes. There's nothing wrong with that. It's natural and it's unavoidable so long as you are here inhabiting these bodies. And I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that the people in your life, although they may externally be the ripples of their source, and you may be focusing on the ripples of their source, generally the people you love the most, the people you choose to love the most, are the ones where you are able to experience their vibration of their true source, and you see them for what they really are. Because you look beyond the shit that they go through in life, and the differences that they have with you, and you're looking at their true, infinite. And that is why it is so hard for people to not be attached to people they love. Because they're essentially focusing on the external and attaching to all of that. But they're really drawn to the true source of what that person is. You follow me. You don't have to follow me. I'm just saying, you follow what I'm saying. If you do, give me a like button, because I am trying to have a form of income so I am not tied down, as I feel all people, everybody should be gifted and allowed the chance to be transient and I wish I had a saying right now, something appropriate for this time. Trees, the roots of trees are designed to hold the earth in place. Fruits, the trees provide all life for humans. And humans provide all life for trees, you could say. The air is lovely. I ate jackfruit last night and I swear I can smell myself I think I can like the vibration of the Vietnamese jackfruit is still in me, and I can smell it. But I haven't had jackfruit for 12 hours, we'll say, even more, like 18 hours. And I did something I generally wouldn't do. I was still a little hungry-ish. No, let's just say that usually I eat, if I get a taste for something, I eat it till it's gone, like a bear. But I did something I don't generally do, and I thought it was just like I was eating this jackfruit, and it tasted good, but then I realized the taste wasn't giving me that electrical bam bam like that. Like it was when I first started eating it, and then I realized if I save some, I'll have some tomorrow, and it'll be like bam bam, bam 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 bam. Follow? You got my drift? Good. Moving on. I digress quite often. Quite often I digress. This is the Matthew Malone chant. Matthew Malone. Matthew Malone. Matthew Malone. Mellor. Matthew. What else do I want to tell you? There's a time and a place for everything. Oh, by the way, just wanted to tell you, your true source is forever knowing, all knowing. That's what your divine self is in the New Agers. Hi. How's it going?